They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but I'm here to tell you that sometimes the most satisfying justice is served hot, glistening with butter and herbs, and with a side of audacious, brilliant deception. This story is a reminder that the sharpest tool in any room isn't a knife, but a mind that's been pushed to its absolute limit. Our story begins in the heart of a vast, lonely kitchen, a place that was both a sanctuary and a prison. This was the domain of Alara, a chef whose talent was as immense as her circumstances were dire. She could coax symphonies of flavor from the humblest ingredients, but her artistry was owned by one Mr. Silas Blackwood. Mr. Blackwood was a man of immense wealth and even greater stinginess. He lived in a sprawling manor where the fires were kept low to save wood. He was a man whose pockets were as deep as his heart was shallow. For Alara, this was a cruel irony. She spent her days creating feasts fit for royalty, yet her own stomach often echoed with hunger. Mr. Blackwood rationed her meals with the precision of a diamond cutter, providing just enough to keep her working, but never enough for her to feel full. He saw her not as an artist, but as an appliance for his own social climbing. One day, a wave of nervous energy swept through the cold halls. A guest of singular importance was arriving for dinner, Lord Harrington, a man whose influence could make or break fortunes. For this occasion, Mr. Blackwood presented Alara with a plump, perfect chicken, the kind she hadn't cooked in years. "This," he announced, his voice thin and sharp, "is for Lord Harrington. It must be a masterpiece. The skin crisp as autumn leaves, the meat tender as a whispered secret. My reputation depends on it." He paused, his beady eyes narrowing. "And let me be clear, you are not to taste it. Not a single morsel, not one shred of skin. I will know." Alara just nodded, her face unreadable, but inside, a quiet storm was brewing. The command was more than a rule, it was an insult. To a chef, taste is everything. It's the compass, the guide. To deny her this was to deny the very essence of her craft. It was the final, stinging drop of disrespect in a cup already overflowing with bitterness. She set to work, her movements precise and practiced. She massaged the chicken with rock salt, rosemary, and thyme from a neglected corner of the garden. She stuffed it with lemon and garlic, and soon, the kitchen filled with an aroma so divine, so utterly tantalizing, it felt like a character in its own right. It was the scent of comfort, of celebration, of everything her life lacked. The hours ticked by. The chicken was done, resting on the carving board, its skin a perfect burnished gold. It was her finest work. Alara waited and waited. The sun dipped below the horizon. Lord Harrington was late. Mr. Blackwood was pacing in the main hall, his agitation a palpable presence. Alara's stomach growled, a fierce, desperate sound in the quiet kitchen. The aroma of the chicken was a constant, maddening torment. Her gaze fell upon a bottle of fine red wine on the counter, set out for the guest. On impulse, she uncorked it and poured a generous glass. The wine was rich and warm, a forbidden luxury that emboldened her. It quieted the gnawing emptiness in her belly, but awakened a different kind of hunger, a hunger for dignity. She looked at the chicken. It was more than food. It was a symbol of her talent and her master's contempt. He would never appreciate the subtle balance of herbs, the perfect rendering of the skin. He would only see it as a tool. But she, its creator, understood its soul. With a slow, deliberate movement, she tore off a small piece of crispy skin. The crunch, the burst of salty, herby flavor, was an explosion of pure joy. It was a revelation. It was justice. One piece led to a leg. The leg led to a thigh. Fueled by fine wine and righteous fury, Alara sat at her simple wooden table and ate the entire roasted chicken. She savored every last bite, from the succulent breast meat to the juicy oysters on the back. This wasn't gluttony. It was reclamation. For the first time in a long time, she felt not just full, but whole. When she finished, only a clean-picked skeleton remained on the platter, a stark and defiant sculpture. Just as she wiped her lips, she heard the crunch of carriage wheels on the gravel. Panic tried to seize her, but the wine and the meal had fortified her spirit. Her mind, usually occupied with recipes, now raced with startling clarity. Desperation, it turns out, is the mother of invention. She looked at the bare platter, then at her large whetstone and carving knife. An idea, wild and brilliant, bloomed in her mind. She heard the front door open, the booming voice of Lord Harrington mingling with Mr. Blackwood's fawning laughter. She quickly moved the platter to the serving counter, picked up the long, gleaming carving knife, and began to sharpen it on the whetstone, creating a rhythmic, menacing sound. Shing, shing, shing. The kitchen door swung open. Lord Harrington, a portly man with a nervous expression, entered first, sent by Blackwood to admire the feast. Ilara's face transformed. She widened her eyes, a perfect mask of fear and urgency, and put a finger to her lips, gesturing for silence, all while the knife continued its relentless song against the stone. "My lord," she whispered, her voice trembling with manufactured terror. "You must flee. You cannot stay for dinner." Lord Harrington looked baffled. "What nonsense is this? I'm here to dine. Where is this magnificent chicken I was promised?" Ilara leaned closer, the rhythmic shing, shing, shing of the knife never ceasing. "There is no chicken for you, my lord. Don't you know who he is? The history between your families?" "History? What history?" the lord stammered, his eyes darting from Ilara's intense face to the gleaming blade. "The old grudge," she whispered dramatically. "The lands your great-grandfather won from his in a card game. Mr. Blackwood speaks of it constantly. He says the debt was never paid, that it must be settled in blood. He told me, 'When Harrington arrives, I will sharpen my longest knife. He will get what he deserves.'" The color drained from Lord Harrington's face. The story was a complete fabrication, but in the dimly lit kitchen, with the menacing sound of the sharpening steel, it felt terrifyingly real. He was a man of wealth, not courage. He said that?" he squeaked. "He is waiting for you in the dining room," Ilara hissed. "He told me to send you in when the knife was ready." That was all it took. Without another word, Lord Harrington turned and fled. He scrambled out of the kitchen, through the main hall, and burst out the front door, shouting for his carriage. A moment later, Mr. Blackwood stormed into the kitchen, his face a thundercloud. "Ilara, what is the meaning of this? Lord Harrington just ran from my house as if the devil himself were after him. Where is the—" His voice trailed off as his eyes fell upon the serving platter. He stared at the pristine, empty dish, adorned only by the naked bones of the chicken. His miserly mind, incapable of conceiving that his starved chef would defy him, leaped to the only other possible conclusion. He saw the fleeing lord, and he saw the empty plate. "The scoundrel!" he shrieked, his voice cracking with rage. "He stole the chicken! That villainous, gluttonous thief! He came into my kitchen and stole my chicken right off the platter!" Consumed by fury, Mr. Blackwood charged out of the kitchen and sprinted after the departing carriage, waving his fists and screaming into the night. "Come back here, you thief! Give me back my chicken! You won't get away with this, Harrington!" Ilara stood alone in the quiet kitchen, the heavy carving knife still in her hand. A slow smile spread across her face. She looked at the empty wine glass and the clean-picked bones, listening to the fading shouts of her boss. She felt the pleasant weight of a full meal in her belly, and the even more pleasant lightness of a spirit set free. She hadn't only fed her body, she had fed her soul. She learned that when you are given nothing, you must take what you've earned. When your worth is ignored, you must prove it to yourself. And when faced with injustice, sometimes the most powerful response is to cook up a plan so clever that your oppressors become the architects of their own ridiculous downfall. The stingy boss got his lesson, the arrogant guest got his scare, and the clever chef. she got a delicious meal and a story worth telling for a lifetime. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of wit and wisdom. See you in the next video.